What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're back for the final tune on their 1993 album Memorial Beach. Shout out to all the people who've been on this journey with me. I really do appreciate you providing context, information, your own take on the lyrics, interpretations of the albums overall. Really do appreciate the people on this journey. So we're up to the title tune, Memorial Beach. Memorializing something relates to paying tribute to it, putting a lasting, although as I say lasting, I immediately think of Ozymandias, like, here's Ozymandias, King of Kings, and it's like a weathered sort of, decrepit statue in the middle of the desert that no one pays attention to anymore. But yeah, nothing lasts forever, but when you do memorialize something, you pay tribute to it in a way that is meant to be lasting, so that not just the generation that witnessed this person's actions, or maybe it's not just a person, it could be a larger organization or a movement or so on, but for future generations to appreciate what they did, to sort of learn the history through the commemoration. And then beach, it's, at least in a human context, it is often a place of recreation, it is a place of relaxation. So Memorial Beach, it has a couple different sort of atmospheres or themes, in the sense that one is sort of light and playful, or at least recreational, whereas the other is maybe not necessarily somber, but more serious, more deeply emotional, and less sort of, light and playful. So already it seems like a juxtaposition of terms. And again, I suppose one could memorialize something on a beach, or a beach could serve as a memorial of the way things used to be for the planet. I mean, there's a number of different ways you could take it, but ultimately it's a bit opaque to me. Like, both of the words I know, and they make sense in certain semantic context, but put together and without any further context, I'm not really sure. So let's get to it. This is Aha, Memorial Beach, from the album of the same name, 1993, and this is the final track on the record. Like smooth and soulful, and then like I couldn't even get it out, and it just takes that to a whole new level.
I praise the length of my unmade room in times of change. My bags are packed, guess I'm leaving the home, into the rain. We never found a place to hide, some peace of mind. God knows we tried,
I like when he does those little vocalizations, those little yeahs, and sort of little additions to the lines proper.
Toes in the sand, seductive sway. Ooh, nothing better, babe. Across the bay, Sarasota way. We held together. We never found place to hide, some peace of mind.
Look, we never found some place to hide, some peace of mind.
Try,
Two different concepts, but they can be one and the same. Peace of mind can give you a refuge, even if there are still dangers and still vulnerability.
the 'Cause the summer rain, 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 'c many days and nights would I sleep, lost in the sand? We never found a place to hide, some peace of mind. God knows we tried.
So is it lost in the sun is what it sounded like? Part of why they can't find a place to hide.
Place to hide, some peace of mind. God knows we tried, yeah. Knows we tried.
The tone of this piece is like very complex. I absolutely love it. Little guitar touches.
So we looked down to the home.
Remarkable. And I do, in that case, love the like proper end to the track rather than a fade. It sort of ends the album. Yeah, again, the sort of sonic palette was really complex. It was, in a way, kind of moody, but it also had a smoothness to it and a nice flow. But again, it sounded like there was vulnerability, if not like harm and loss, and the idea that we just couldn't find a place to hide. God knows we tried. Yeah, it feels like there's something that they came up short on, something that, you know, they weren't able to avoid harm or suffering. But I'm not sure exactly what that is. And again, I don't know if Memorial Beach, I assume there are beaches somewhere in the world named Memorial Beach. But I'm not personally privy to them. As you may notice, I am quite fair-skinned, meaning me and the beach don't have the greatest relationship. I turn red very quickly. I have to wear, like, you know, SPF 50 or whatever. So yeah, I don't go to the beach all that often. Going to the beach at night, though, I am actually much more fond of. But yeah, ultimately, I'm not a beach person, so I don't know specifically where this Memorial Beach might be, if it is in fact a like proper place specifically. But yeah, I'm intrigued by the lyrics. I know a number of you have been, you know, giving me insight there too. It is enjoyable though, as I said, to sort of go back and try to, you know, hear them before I like give a full read. Just because, like I said, I try to enjoy music on its own terms as much as possible. Now again, eventually, if there's something that I just can't quite make out, I do appreciate the actual lyrics. But like I said, I do try to like give it a few more listens, which, as I keep mentioning, you know, when I do these reactions, I do proper listens afterward with like an immersive, you know, in-headphone listen, and in some cases I do pick up on more lines on successive listens, because part of it is when you hear a tune for the first time, you know, the different sonic elements, they grab my attention too, they grab my ear as well. So there are times, including, you know, Morton's voice, where it's like, oh my god, did you hear that? Like, it's incredible. I actually didn't pay attention to what he sung because I was so like transfixed by the vocal quality. So yeah, that does happen sometimes. But like I said, I appreciate all the context, including people who post the actual lyrics, because again, there are times where it's like, you know what, I just need to know what it, okay, so that's what that line is. So in any case, big ups to all the Aha people. We're moving on to the next album, and their next album is Minor Earth, Major Sky, 2000. 7 years later. I do believe a couple people said this is like an initial like breakup. They sort of, you know, go separate ways for a few years before reconvening. So yeah, let me know if I have that right. But yeah, intrigued by that. Obviously, you know, even if they all, you know, were eventually maybe planning to make music together, although again, it sounds like it was a proper breakup. You know, either way, 7 years is a long gap between albums, so I'm curious to hear how their sound will change. I am remembering a friend of the channel, Han Solo, telling me that his favorite Aha stuff was the 80s sound, wasn't all that keen on some of the 90s stuff, but that they came back with synth, a more synth-heavy sound began in the 2000s, but different from the 80s, which of course makes sense. You know, even as I mentioned before, some of the best bands I know they continue to do the same thing over time, but they do it in a different way. So they like, it's still, of the essence of their work, but they go down different avenues. So yeah, and indeed, this album I think was the most significant in that regard, at least if we use sort of Hunting High and Low as the initial frame of reference, and Scoundrel Days and so on. Yeah, bottom line, this one felt more different from that than did East of the Sun, West of the Moon, even if that already did feel a little bit different. So yeah, loving their variety, loving their like abilities to make some different type of music, not only sort of synth driven like happy pop music, but also sort of deep soulful ballads, as well as like rocking tunes. Again, I can't like, I'm gonna keep mentioning it. There's a number of tunes I keep listening to from them, Stay on These Roads and so on. But Manhattan Skyline, I can't stop listening to that tune. I flippin' love that tune. So yeah, I love that they can have different explorations of musical avenues and do them equally well. So in any case, like I said, we'll be coming back for a new album next time. Do let me know what you think of this tune. I will see you next time. Peace.